when Christians use the term Messiah, they mean the Son of God, the second person of the triune Godhead, who died for your sins. In Islam, Muslims...
Hello guys, hope you guys are feeling good. Thanks so much for clicking. This Jewish rabbi is going to respond to a question which says, is Jesus of Islam the same as Christianity? So let's hear from this Jewish rabbi. Let's check it out.
There was a question that came in and it dropped the call. It was the last call we had on, and it was basically on the Islam topic as well. And it basically wants to know, what is the Islamic view of Jesus? How do they view Jesus?
Although Christians and Muslims are both using the word Jesus, I'm actually correct myself, because Muslims refer to Jesus as Isa. They mean something so entirely different that they're just using the same words, but they mean something they have nothing to do with each other. In Islam, Jesus is not the Son of God, and he's not divine in any way. And in fact, if you want to get thrown out of your mosque, I mean, hopefully they'll try to talk you out of it. But if you want to get into trouble, just say that Jesus is God, because the Quran attacks the doctrine of the Trinity explicitly. So he's not God, the Son of God. There's only one God, and there is no other. And I know my Muslim cousins won't be offended. They say to Christians, and they're trying to be ecumenical, they say, oh, we all believe in Jesus. We all believe in Jesus Christ. I hear it, and it's like scratching a blackboard. No, Muslims is a pushback against the doctrine of the Trinity. It's a pushback against the deification of Jesus. So in the Muslim view, Jesus is not just a prophet, but he's the highest level of prophet. He's what's called the Rasul. And Rasul means that he had a Sharia, a message, a written message. And it's not the New Testament. The New Testament is not the Sharia of Jesus, because the New Testament, from the Muslim point of view, is complete shirk. It's because although the Trinity is not in the Christian Bible, Jesus is deified there, and that Jesus was crucified and died for anyone's sins is outrageous. And let's face it, the Gospels are all about the passion narratives with a long introduction. Just some introductions are longer than others. So I find it, I'm like going, and I tell this to my friends who are Muslim, I say, why are you quoting the New Testament? Like, why? So let's getting back to, now that I've offloaded that, Muslims believe that Jesus was a man, nothing more than a man. The only thing is he's born to a virgin that they believe in. They believe that Mary, she's up there. Muslims debate whether she should be called a prophet or not. But that's not my business. The only element that Jesus is in Muslim where there's any relationship to Christianity, it's not really a relationship, is that Jesus never died. It only appeared that he died, but he never died. He rather ascended. And that at the end, in so eschatological terms, he's going to return. He's actually going to get married and have kids, have a family for 40 years. Then he's going to die, according to Muslims. Then he's going to be buried next to Muhammad in Medina, and there's a grave waiting for him. Not kidding. This is what you have to be very careful of. The Muslims are using the same terms like Mashiach, and they're using Messiah, calling him Jesus, but it's not the same. And I think that it's like they care. But I think that Muslims should not say to Christians, my view, that we both believe in Jesus Christ. I hear it. And they're doing it for a very specific reason. They're not trying to be deceptive about it. I think it's part of maybe their Dawah, their way of trying to reach out, that by becoming Muslim, you're not abandoning everything in Christianity. But it really isn't the same. They're using the same language, but they mean something completely different. And Muslims are using the term Mashiach about Jesus, but they don't mean he's from the house of David either. So that's really radically different than Judaism as well. I mean, Muslims know that if Jesus is born of a virgin, he can't be from the house of David. So Muslims do not believe that Jesus was a descendant of David and he's anointed in that reason. Now, Muslim scholars do disagree over how is it that Jesus came to be anointed. I think the consensus, there are exceptions here, is that he is a kind of like a priestly anointed individual. Okay, that's what Muslim scholars to figure out and to work out. So you have to be very careful because Abrahamic religions are cousins, we're siblings, whatever you want to call us, but we're using the same words, but we really mean things that are really quite different. So when Christians use the term Messiah, they mean the Son of God, the second person of the triune Godhead, who died for your sins. In Islam, that's outrageous. Muslims detest Paul more than anything. Muslims hate Paul more than Jews do. Jews dislike Paul because he introduced idolatry to the world. It didn't start with the Trinity. Paul's the one who really infused it. And vicarious atonement, that's Pauline. And Muslims hate that. Muslims don't believe that anybody could die for your sins, but rather it's God's mercy. So they can't. And the thing is that for us, Paul invented a religion that's Christianity. But for Muslims, he ruined everything in a sense. Like on the Day of Judgment, you don't want to be anywhere near Paul. That's for sure. But for them, for the Muslim, Paul is really the most outrageous figure in history because he ruined Jesus in a sense, meaning he ruined the message by interfering and inserting the deity of Jesus, Philippians 2, 6 through 11, the Carmen Christi. Colossians 2. It's all over. Paul is deifying Jesus. Does not believe in doctrine of the Trinity. It's not the same.
So this Jewish Arabi has differentiated these two religions when it comes to their belief in Jesus, because there are differences between the Islam and Christianity when it comes to Jesus, because Islam believes that Jesus is not God because he was born by Mary. He was given birth to by a human being. That's what they believe. And one thing that actually came to me as a surprise, because I learned new thing from what the Jews said. He said Islam also believed that Jesus ascended and he never died. He was never crucified, but he ascended and he's somewhere there living. I heard him say something about 40 years, that after 40 years, he will be buried beside Prophet Muhammad. That's their belief. Why Christianity, we have this faith that Jesus was crucified on the cross, he died, but he resurrected, after resurrecting, and we believe that he's still coming back. We are all expecting the second coming of Jesus because Jesus said that I will be back. So we all believe that he ascended truly, but he died before he ascended. But Islam believes that he never died, but he just ascended like that. So, and another thing is that the similarity I know is the fact that both religions believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Islam believe he's a prophet, while in Christianity we believe that he's Lord. He's not just a prophet, he's a supreme person. He's more like God because of the signs and wonders he performed, the fact that he was not giving birth in a natural way. So people acknowledge Jesus as God because of the mighty things he did. So this man just gave us the differences between Jesus and Islam and Christianity, in which in his conclusion they have similarity. They don't believe in the same thing about Jesus. What Christianity believe is different from what Islam believe. God is somebody that cannot be created. God is someone that we cannot see. So to them, why we say Jesus is God when he came in a human form? You get what I'm saying? So this was really beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.